Thank you, Rev David J Miller, for that meditation. I don't think I need to introduce the speaker at all today because I know him very well. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the United Fellowship Chapel. Our concentration today is abundance on happiness, health, and wealth. And happiness, health, and wealth is actually the definition of prosperity. To be prosperous is to have happiness, health, and wealth in your life. And how do we harmonize that happiness, health, and wealth? We harmonize it through our thoughts, words, and actions. The thoughts that we have, the words that we say, and the places that we go. Now, when you go to places, the people in there are doing things. They're thinking things and they're saying things. And so when you go into a place and you find out that they're not being happy, healthy, or wealthy in their thoughts, words, and actions, do we stay there? I found when I go to places that the first thing I look for is the exit. Mm-hmm. So if I come across those things that are unhappy, a lack, or in my life, then I don't have to stay there. And that was a real struggle for me and for other people too. So what happens if you're in the presence of someone that you really care for, and they're being unhappy, and they're having lack and ill health in their life and everything? How do you go about doing that? I found that there's steps to take that will help you to move into a place that's happy, healthy, and wealthy and everything. If you just let one of those things go, you got discord in your life. If you go to a place where they're talking ill of other people and of themselves and everything like this, they're thinking that too. So you got the thoughts and the words going in that, and then their actions will be that way too, and everything. So it takes a strong person to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. And then we have to figure out what is my happiness and everything. And the only way we can know what our happiness is through our experiences, you know. And you know, there's quite a few people that have gone through their life and haven't experienced happiness, being happy or anything like this, you know. And I was thinking about doing, you know, this weekend is Veterans Day and everything like this, you know. And I have a memory of that when I got back from Vietnam. We come back on a plane and we landed in San Francisco. Then I had to take a flight to New York, but there was a strike going on with the airplanes, and so I had to get a first class ticket. I said I didn't mind that at all, because when you get there they give you some extra money for I have a 30-day leave and everything like this. And but only thing I had to go to Syracuse, New York, and then the only flight that I could get was going to New York City. And so my mother and father were going to drive down and greet me there, you know. And when I got there, the first thing, I don't know how I started walking and everything. I didn't know where I was. New York City is such a big place, in the airport, you know. I just started walking, and all of a sudden I saw my father walking there, and we just ran toward each other and hugged each other, you know. And he was in the Second World War and everything like this, and he kind of knew what I went through, you know, and it was a real nice feeling with that, you know. And that nice feeling is a happiness, you know, and it just filled my heart with that, you know. And some of the other experiences that we have in our life too, you know, is that I've gone through some times where there was lack in my life too, you know, and so how do I go about doing that, you know, and I actually experienced this here at the chapel. When I first became pastor here and everything like this, I came pastor in 1977, and about 6 years after that, you know, things were, and then 1983, I woke up one morning and all my ministers were not here. I was the only one here and everything. I definitely lack. And so we started working one person at a time, and we started building it up there, you know, and being persistent. I would get 3 or 4 people at a service like we are today. And so it's really nice to get those people here, and everything. And so, but I kept on persistent. My teachers told me, said, you just keep on teaching and doing what you are learning about and doing, and you will flourish for that, And so and I always remember when I first came here in 1970 and started developing and everything like this, and the founder was still alive and everything, and I was talking to her one day, and I says, you can make a living at doing this. And she kind of smirked at me and everything like this. She said, how would you pay your bills? I said, well, with money. She got hilarious. And so I decided not to say anything more about that. Because I said, I can do this. And so, and with the program and the things that I followed through with what Spirit was telling me to do, I was able to do that and everything. But I didn't mention that to anybody else until I got going with everything. She must have thought pretty much of us because I could never find the records of this place. So she had them. And one day she said, I want you to come over to my place I want to talk to you. And she gave me all the records from when it started in 1960. I said, oh, that was a nice compliment. So she figured that we would be okay to do that, And so that made a real nice feeling. I didn't jump up and laugh and everything like this, but it was a feeling of being happy that someone thought that much of me that would do that, And I would always remember those feelings when we were going through and building things here, And these experiences that we have to let you know that you are happy and you have health and you have abundant wealth in your life, is that, and they all compensate each other and everything. Lack was one of the things that I was raised in, and I definitely know what that was. Going in high school, one of the parents was in high school had a theater, and it cost 25 cents to go to a movie. And we didn't have that. I couldn't even have a quarter to go to a movie when I was growing up and everything. And so I always worked on that. I would have plenty to be able to do things and everything like this, And I worked on it, that I would get a new car every 3 years. I was able to get that without any trouble whatsoever. I had more quarters than I did going in, so it's a nice movie and everything. But all these experiences that we have these experiences, these experiences I'm talking about was before I even got here, except for the ones with the chapel and everything like this, But to be persistent in your happiness, health, and wealth, will abundance be there, And I always tell this one story when I talk about prosperity, is that prosperity can be $5 or it can be $5,000. And when I first came here, I was on some medication because I had to take shots and pills just to breathe and everything, with allergies and everything. And so I needed a prescription filled for $5, and I didn't have $5. And I was working at Utotem over in the Mount Lemmon highway, and that was the only store then up there. And I'm on the graveyard shift, and I'm sweeping the floor outside, and there's a $5 bill. And then years later, I needed an air conditioner, and that cost $5,000. All of a sudden, something opened up where I had that $5,000 and everything, because I was practicing the rules and the laws that we're doing and everything. And so, and then we used to have a swamp cooler here. Albie probably remembers some of that. Yeah. And I decided it's time to have an air conditioning. Back in the late 70s, I wanted to get an electric typewriter for $400, and they all griped on me, you can't do that, and everything. And so I went and got a typewriter that worked and everything. And then when I was going to present this to the board, the air conditioner is going to cost $7,000. it took me 20 minutes to convince them to do it. and that summer, we put it in just before the summer got started and everything, and we had events going on all summer long and air conditioning. And when the technician, he turned the air conditioner on and says, there is a heaven and earth. and we had that air conditioner paid for before the summer was over with. And so, living the laws. My teacher said, you just live what you teach, and you will be fulfilled for that. And so I've done diligently on that, and I also found that every time I go through a change, there's always a breaking down period to go through. And when I'm breaking down, I get irritated, and I kind of put some doubt what in the world's going on there. But I don't stay there too long. I know better than that. But I go through that, And so when I go through those periods, I said, well, here I go again. I know that something's going to manifest here pretty soon, so just keep on doing what I'm doing, and it'll be there. And so I want to leave these words with you today that happiness, health, and wealth is abundant within you, and as you concentrate on the harmoniousness of your thoughts, words, and actions, people, places, and things, you will sustain that. Bless you.